Let's hit that ice-rich asteroid. See if we can get some cryo back. That's right. Our guy's injured. Well, Bliss does cover our major weakness. All right, Bliss, let's check out this ice. This ice-roid. Which is what you call an ice asteroid, I'm pretty sure. The ice-roid looms large in the cockpit's glass. Light glints off the sheets of surface ice. Same glint that must have caught Malik's attention when he was fleeing the Conway countermeasures that damaged the spring tide. But no sign of Conway drones or mines. That hasn't stopped Seraphin from being cautious in his approach. You have to admit, found yourself searching the black void of space for a telltale blinking red beacon too. Close enough to jump down to the surface. Seraphin locks down the engines. I don't see anything on the scope. I'll keep her warm just in case. Thanks. He nods without looking up from the controls. You unclip from your seat and kick off towards the airlock. The scale of the asteroid is troubling. The Seraphin assured you on the journey that surveying it would be easy enough. Take a sample from deep ice for testing. The problem, he said, is getting down that deep. You have to cut away the ice, dig yourself a hole. Doing so will create fractures in the shelf. Asteroid may be big, but it's held together with only weak gravitational force. The more the ice is cracked away, the less there is for the far side to harvest. Something you doubt Malik will be happy about. You push the worry to the back of your mind and get suited up. Something on your mind? Bliss drifts up beside you and pulls the suit from the rack. Good job. They shrug. I don't want to jinx it. This seems simple enough. Can't say rock, or in this case, ice cutting is my usual strength. Gotta be simpler than slicing a hole without torching any of the internals. Bliss zips up their suit. They'll be fine. This is reassurance that they don't have any experience with the job you are about to do. Doesn't exactly calm your worries, but their nonchalant attitude helps. Especially when you consider the volume of ice you're about to start cutting into. Cheer up! Bliss punches you on the arm as you get into the airlock. Might never happen. Lock cycles. You find yourself staring out at the glinting surface of the asteroid. 1 second, Sleeper. Seraphin's voice comes over the comms. Seeing something here. Some kind of man-made shaft on the far side of the asteroid. Might be worth a look. But remember, survey is our top priority. It comes first. You can almost hear his eyes scroll through the comms link. Don't get distracted. You squint at the rock and spot the dark recess, just over the curve of the asteroid. That'll be the distraction then. You refocus on the ice sheet. Time to get started. But if we go down here... Bliss can do engineering. Over here, we can use our intuition. Doing good. Over here. Do this. Okay, okay. Shit. Okay, we'll do a survey. I don't want to use my 1 or 2. Well... reroll the lowest. Ooh, okay. Like, no, Jaybird! Don't throw me in the asteroid! You monster. I can't believe you did this to me. Hmm. 25, 50, 25. We'll go for it. Okay. Rest for a cycle. I hope you're having a good evening. Well, probably go to even start your job. I hope your new job is great and time passes swiftly with nothing interesting occurring. Take care. And have a good rejuvenating eeps. Okay. Bliss got another 6. Let Bliss do their work here. And also use our 5s here. Have to interact with people. Oh my god. The customers. They're everywhere. Derelict bunker. Interesting. Ooh, scavenge data. Don't mind if I do. Eep now. Have good eeps. That is a bad cycle, Dreki. A very bad cycle. Raise that up. We will reboot our lowest. Reroll our lowest. See if we can get one of these terminals open. Ow. Suddenly jumped up a lot of stress. Great. And then work on some rusted treasures. Nice, nice. End the cycle. Ow. Okay, for the ice sheet. All right, Bliss, you got this. Hell yeah. Phase 2. Fucking seriously? Game, why are you doing this to me? Fuck. The stat I can't do anything about. And Bliss has malices on it too. Even using my best dice. High stress, plus stress. I'm literally gonna stress max and all my dice are gonna break. Great. Oh, maybe I can at least get this unlocked. At least maybe I can get this unlocked. A flickering screen catches your eye in the dark of the bunker. Distorted female face, further refracted by the surrounding ice, stares at you from the terminal with blank white eyes. You move closer, straining to hear her voice, but the recording is silent, or perhaps the terminal's output is broken. All you can do is watch the pale face as it contorts through the corruption and noise. Could be explaining some important secret, long forgotten, or just recording a personal anecdote. Hard to tell. Circles and curving arcs flash across the face. Graphical visualizations of orbits and flight plans. Squint at them, the shapes unknown to you. And then, as soon as it starts, the playback ends, leaving a frozen frame on the screen. A ghost face, circled by orbits. You slot a drive into the terminal and copy what residual data is left, unsure where it might lead you. When it is done, you shut off the terminal, once and for all. As you leave the bunker, a pale face flashes once more in your mind. Those blank eyes, flat stare. Was that a human? Or something else? You turn the image over in your mind, unsure of its importance. Solheim data. Interesting. My dice are so fucked. Yep. Great. That's 50-50. 50-50. Not worth it. Great. Looking pretty grim, y'all. Looking pretty grim. All right. Four is priority. Things might still work out though. Even if we're basically gonna have to burn, like, I feel like almost all of our reward fixing ourselves. Come the fuck on. One success. 75% chance. We failed 3 25% checks in a row. You feel the rumble through your suit. The ice first shifting, a tremor running through it, and then a cracking into spidery branching shapes. Sleeper. Seraphim's voice comes crackling through the suit comms. What did you do? You turn to see a whole section of ice sheet in horrifying silence break away from the surface of the asteroid. As it does, glowing in the sunlight, a cloud of dust washes across you, blotting out the stars. Watch out! You hear Seraphim shout out into the comms, his voice distorting beneath the soft patter of dust raining down on your suit. It's gonna fail. Wow, we actually passed once. Bad we didn't pass in the previous 3 fucking rolls. You see the glittering storm of ice shards and kick off from the surface. You glide up and out as glinting chunks of ice batter your suit. You hold up your arms to protect yourself, deflecting blows as you drift. The storm of shards subsides into a cloud of sparkling particles. You turn to look at the damage left behind. A large chunk of the ice sheet has broken away. The surface of the asteroid beneath it cracked and fractured. All around the rock, ice and dust drift together, their vector taking them out of the orbit of this small body. Maybe don't tell your client we just atomized half the water on this rock. Lys's voice trembles through the comms. I'm not an expert, but I don't think they'll be impressed. You watch the bright dust of the ice sheet as it tumbles away into the black, large chunks catching the light beautifully as they spin. One hell of a sight. It might turn out to be an expensive mistake. You look across the asteroid and notice something is missing. The black shape of the shaft. Whatever secrets were left in there, they've been buried forever. Not like it can get any worse. Really? The 50-50 is the one that works? The sample core, long and weighty cylinder of cloudy ice, comes up out of the borehole cleanly. I hope so. We cracked the whole thing halfway open. It glows in the sunlight, catching the rays of its frosted interior. Nicely done, Sleeper. Bliss chirps through the comms. I've never cored an asteroid before, but the result is pretty. Let's just hope it's drinkable. Not melted down for liquid refreshment just yet, Seraphim chimes in. Likely packed with unpleasant impurities. Question is, the kind of impurities the far Spindle can filter out. Seeing as we've already lost a chunk of the ice off this rock. Try to get that core up here without breaking it, shall we? Seraphin shuts off his comms. You start the journey back to the ship, dragging the sample core with you. As you do, you look back down on the asteroid, wondering if it might make the bargaining chip Malik has been looking for. You'll know soon enough. Yay! Leave. Something flickers in the back of your mind. You stop. You have to stop to blink it away. It's a tightness behind your left eye, an aching point that refuses to move. And then the voice begins, hissing through the background noise of the rig's systems, a new whine amongst the chorus of the life support and ventilation. Sleeper. The hiss brings Lane's sharp features to mind. I suppose you thought you had slipped my net. Export jumps into your mind, an image of the station immolating in white light, but you are not conscious to witness it. You are distant. His voice hisses into the white noise. But you are not free of me yet. I'm coming, sleeper. The hiss drops, and I will retake control of what is mine. The closer I get to you, the more you will feel it. Lane moves your finger to tap your forehead. In here. Until you cannot resist. A bright smile. Pale eyes. A growing hiss that hurts. Then the hiss is gone. The rig suddenly quiet. The stinging tightness diffusing behind your eyes. But the fear remains. Sleeper, you good? Seraphin is there, floating by your berth. You were talking. Lane is coming. Seraphin looks alarmed. Feel him, right? He looks away. We can use that. Stay ahead of him. Squeezes your shoulder. We can do this. We're fast and smart. Keep moving. We don't stay anywhere too long. We'll find a way. He frowns. Somehow. You nod. You do not know how Lane is able to reach into your mind like this. How he is able to speak to you. You want so desperately for it to stop. You must find out what he has done to you before it is too late. You must stay ahead of Lane at all costs. Sleeper. Seraphin catches your attention as you go to leave the ship. Can I have a minute? Of course. Seraphin ducks into a maintenance passage and waits for you to follow. In the narrow passage, framed by loose wires and thick conduits, Seraphin looks suddenly small, wrapped. He looks at an open circuitry panel as he speaks, avoiding your gaze. He's playing with a coin in his hand, nervously spinning it in the air. Since we cleared Hexport, I've been putting feelers out for something. He rubs his hands nervously. I've been in the belt a long time. I came here alone. Back on the dark side, just before he made a break for it, I heard something. Heard someone is looking for me. He pauses, trying to organize his thoughts. Is it one bounty enough? Seraphin smiles. I don't think this is a bounty. I also heard something else. They said the person looking for me claimed to be my sister? He waits for your reaction. You have a sister? I did, yeah. Or, I do. He shakes his head. I don't even know if it's really her. Just because someone says they're my sister, well, I can't be sure. Thing is, I haven't seen my sister in a long time. I was still a kid when I left. So was she, though I don't think she would have liked to admit it at the time. He smiles to himself. Now you don't remember how it was, back in Darkside, I mean. He sighs. Well, we were alone, you and me. Lane didn't let us out much, just work. That was all. But I overheard one of his guys mention someone was sniffing around, trying to find me. I didn't know what to think. He frowns. And then, hearing it could have been my sister? He goes quiet. Try to recall that time. Cycles spent under Lane's influence. Working for him in exchange for stabilizer. Close your eyes. Focus. But the details flicker. The images collapse and reform. Has Seraphin told you this before? Was this all part of your plan? You wanted to go find her? Yes. He shrugs. It changed things for me. The thought that she could be out there. Don't get me wrong. I wanted to get you out of there too. He pauses. You sense he's finding this difficult. I know it doesn't matter now, but I told you about her back then. Before. Sorry, I don't remember. It's okay, Sleeper. I understand. Since we got away, since export, I've been asking around, speaking to spacers, traders, and like I said, nothing has finally come up. Since whoever was trailing me left Darkside pretty soon after Mitsubo caught the wind of her sniffing around. I doubt they made her feel very welcome, but I managed to get a name. The name she gave, Luz, wasn't my sister's. That doesn't mean much. Give me something to follow. She bounced around the wash a little. Spindle, flotsam. Not sure why. He squints at a loose wire. Last thing she did was book a passage to Wellspring on a loaded freighter. That's it. How do you know this? Mostly ship manifests and port records. A few favors on the quiet. I want to go to Wellspring, Slipper. I want to know if it's really her. And if it isn't, to settle what needs settling. Let's do it. Thank you, Sleeper. He meets your eye. I will admit, it has been strange. Reminding myself that everything we talked about back on Darkside, everything we did, is lost now. He smiles. I'm glad to see you're still you. Whatever that means. Me too. He nods. Anyways, better get back to it. Seraphin squeezes past you in the corridor and glides back to the engine room. You watch him go, wondering if your paths together can ever be reclaimed. Your mind wanders to thoughts of Seraphin's sister. For a moment, you wonder what it's like to have a family, and if you will ever know. Sleeper! Cadet drifts from the shadows outside Bliss's Bay, looking around nervously as she approaches. Seems like I'm gonna to call in that favor. Her face is pale and deathly serious. You okay? She doesn't seem to hear you, distracted by a group of spacers gliding noisily down the passage behind her. She waits until they pass. I'm in stripline. No idea where Kamal is. Bunch of goons tearing the place apart as we speak. She screws up her face in pain. If you tried to grab me, those muscle heads are slow. Who would attack a courier? No idea. She shakes her head. These are typical Renathugs. Could have been anyone with chits to burn. With that package I asked for your help with? One that's been bothering me? I remember you mentioning it. Reckon it's got something to do with that. Job was a bust. Express run all the way to the underhang. When I got there, no one home. She's whispering now, leaning closer. The place was all smashed up. Like someone got there first. Could have dumped the package and run, but I brought it back, like a good girl. Stashed in a safe spot in the strip line. The sender, I come to recover it. When they didn't, well, I got curious. Popped it open. She shakes her head. Stupid thing to do. Inside was a drive encrypted to hell and back. I ran into you? Well, I heard sleepers are good with data, with tech. Thought you might be able to take a look at it. She shrugs. Now, strip line's trash too. Here's the thing. Glances around. Back when I popped it open, I noticed the drive had a dispatch marker. Export. It'd be connected to... Export getting atomized? Yeah, that's where I'm at too. That thing was sent out from there just before it got cooked. He pauses. The kind of attention I've been getting these past couple of cycles? She slips a hand terminal from her bag, taps a couple of times, then holds it up to you. Cadet stares out at you from the screen, straight-faced and pale. Beside her picture, you see in block capitals, Spindlejack, KD754, in breach of FAR Spindle codes, Bravo 12 plus Foxtrot 34. Reward for information leading to capture. Considered dangerous. Dickheads blasted out on the transit channels. Every Spindlejack, hauler, and freight carrier is going to be watching for me. She pulls back the hand terminal angrily, stuffing it away in her bag. Something's going on. Anyone who can help? She looks away. Spindlejacks don't make friends easily. Now all the couriers I do know, looking to turn me in for a payout. She snaps her head to the side, her eyes flashing with anger. Why do you think I'm here? Sorry for that favor, Sleeper. She meets your eye. My connections are burned. Hell, my whole career's gone. I need to fight back. If I walk away, there's nothing to walk away to. She softens a little. I need your help. What can I do? I need you to get the drive. She takes a breath. They want it that much? I can use it to buy my way out of this shit show. Tuck it away somewhere safe. So my guess is they haven't got it yet. You just slip in, I'll give you the location, you pull the thing out. She folds her arms. Should be simple. Well, why don't you do it? They're gonna be watching for me, as is everyone in the transit tunnels. I wouldn't make it past the core. Look, this thing turns out to be worth something, you get your due. All I want is my life back. Drive is in the workshop. The loose panel behind the airbike rack. He leans in. Tapes the back of the fuse box inside. Gotta keep heading down Spindle. Overhang. Get to the end of the transit tunnels. No one will rat me out there. She glances around. I'll come find you when it's done. Still got some network access. I'll know when you go in. She winks, offering no further explanation. My bike's locked up nearby. I'm gonna hop. She pauses. Do me this favor, then we're clear. Stay safe. Doing my best, sleeper. She gives you a mock salute. She slips back into the shadows. And a few moments later, you hear the percussive pulse of an airbike accelerating away. You know, at least, what it's like to be on the run, to flee your life. And in that, you feel an empathy, a connection with Cadet. But from every other angle, this thing looks like bad news. The kind a sensible person would still well clear from. Perhaps you would still well clear, if it wasn't for one detail that has stuck in your mind. The drive is from Hexport. Isn't that enough to send you down the strip line in search of that drive? Only time will tell. On the journey back from the asteroid, you poured over the tests Malik had given. Weird how this wasn't the first event. You'd think, like, order of operations wise, this would be the first event, and then it would go through the other things as if we've already docked. But anyway, on the journey back from the asteroid, you poured over the tests Malik had given you to run, improvising the necessary equipment from your mess. Each one produced spools of data, much of which you couldn't parse. Arriving to the vicinity of the far Spindle, you broadcast these strings of data to Malik's personal terminal on the Springtide, as instructed. Despite all this preparation, you're still surprised when you find Malik standing at the far side of the docking tunnel as you leave the rig. Sleeper. He nods neatly at you. I thought it was better I come down here, away from my crew, to discuss your findings. The findings were... straight to the point. He clasps his hands. Good. As I suspected, the asteroid was indeed rich with water ice. Thankfully, the contaminants can be dealt with. He speaks matter-of-factly, betraying little emotion. With the data you provided, I should be able to convince the Far Spindle administration of its worth. And we're good? Alex smiles. It remains to be seen. Before I make payment, I would like to ask, in person, if you saw anything else of consequence? Anything to share with me that might affect my dealings with the Far Spindle? He folds his arms across his chest. I prefer not to have any surprises when they go to retrieve the water. The image of a section of the glittering ice, shattered, lost, spinning into the black, flashes before your eyes. Malik patiently awaits your answer. Interesting that we can lie, but I ain't no liar. Telling to him straight. Mostly because, that shit'll come back to bite me, I just know it. And I already got enough fuckers after me. I don't need another one. Tell Malik about part of the ice sheet that broke away. The loss of a good portion of the asteroid's surface water. As you do, he grips the bridge of his nose and looks down. Thank you for your honesty. His expression is pained. It is possible I could still negotiate the Springtide's release, but not without exchanges I did not wish to make. Must be consequences, of course. Malik sighs. Malik reaches into his pocket and produces a stack of cryochits, bound carefully with a strip of paper. Breaks the paper seal and splits the stack. 120. He hands you part of the stack. Do not ask for more. You take the chits and quickly tuck them away. You take his advice and stay quiet. With that, our business is concluded, Sleeper. Malik nods lightly. I must speak with the administration to negotiate the release of my ship, and then prepare for immediate departure. The Syndicate will be eager for my successful return. Farewell. He glides away from the dock, leaving behind a growing fear deep inside you. A growing fear? Huh? Lane is hunting you once again. Target struck by the hunt clock. This is filled, he'll catch up with you. It increases once every cycle you spend in a hub. Each time you travel is reduced by 3. Interesting. Good to know. Now we need to eat. I prefer to not starve. I would also like to get my dice back, but I'm kind of fucked. Oh, that gives me energy. That's good. So let's see. I need to find scrap. Where can I get scrap? Oh, I can buy scrap down here, can't I? Are you... I need so much scrap. I need 2 scrap per repair. Alright, we're just gonna have to grit our teeth and deal with it. Ow. But hey, we're at max, so it's not like it can get worse. Honestly, I should do it again so I can get that 2 preemptively. Actually, we're still stressed. Is that gonna go down if we rest? So we need to scope out security. See if we can take care of this before we leave. End cycle. Fuck me, buddy. The far Spindle is an exhausting place to find freelancers. No shortage of spacers here. Corridors and bays throng with crew inbound and outbound, on or between contracts, writing stories, contracts, and materials. Whatever language, appearance, or code identifies someone as worth signing on with, you don't seem to have it. Perhaps it's because you're a new face or noticeably unsure. Perhaps it's just because you're a sleeper. You push the thought to the back of your mind and instead focus on what's in front of you. The vast cylindrical tank at the center of Gaia's gyre. First time you entered the bar, you floated open-mouthed, much like all the new arrivals do, at the sight of the huge kelp stack, biggest you've ever seen. Even now, your eyes fixed on the fronds of seaweed that wave in the circulating water. Beyond the curve of dirty glass, you find it impressive. Take a sip from the harsh, saline-scented rack from its magnetic vessel, secured to the bar. As you suck on the straw, your eyes following the shifting fronds, you hear someone clearing their throat beside you at the bar. Hypnotic, isn't it? The voice is low and rumbling. It comes from a large figure on the stool next to you. The fluorescent lights behind the bar glint in his eyes, shining up into his wide, rough face. I've heard you're hiring. The figure turns to face you. You don't recognize him, but in the shifting lights of Gaia's Gaia, that isn't surprising. And you are? Eugen? Currently freelance. He turns on his stool and leans back a little. The effect is clearly meant to impress you on his size, and you have to admit, it works. Served on a whole slate of crews out at the Spindle. Cutters, mercs, extractors. He smiles and places a broad hand on his shoulder. Broad skill set, good work ethic, sense of humor, a full package. Humble too. Clucks with his tongue, smiling. I like you already. We're going to get on. I'll run anything out of the far Spindle. Tough and quiet. You won't need to worry about me. He folds his arms across his chest. What kind of work are we talking about? Before you answer, a voice shouts out from behind you. Eugene! You look over your shoulder for the source of the shout. Busy as ever, I see. Vesna. A group of 3 spacers drift up behind you, one of them placing a heavy hand on your shoulder. She's fitted with a matte metal optical implants, and you cannot see her eyes. The caustic light from the tank plays across her face. It's interesting that it seems so many people have projectile weapons, because that was a huge point in the first game on the Eye, that there were no weapons. Like no projectile weapons, until there was the one smuggled in as part of the closing arc with the flotilla. Too busy to keep in touch, he sighs. Really don't like it when I have to come and find you. Vesta. Eugene nods politely at her, not betraying any strong reaction. Do I look like I'm socializing? He shakes his head. This is a meeting. Oh, a meeting! Vesna squeezes your shoulder. Is that what this is? Yes, Vesna. We're talking about your delivery, in fact. Eugene smiles widely. My friend here is being very helpful. He shoots you a knowing glance. That's right. Super helpful. Vesna turns to you with a raised eyebrow. But before she can speak, Eugene cuts in. This sleeker? This sleeper has a unique ability to extract data. Eugene smiles at Vesna. Exactly the kind of data you have been asking for. Unfortunately, the data does not extend to extracting people from the void. But Chimera, you're gonna have to find your own way back. Thank you for the hydration. Oh god! Oh, my magnet's unhooked! Oh, I'm spinning in the 0G! Help! Someone throw me a line! No, not my snacks! I just got a bag of raspberry Milanos! They're tasty! Don't you dare eat them all! They're mine, I tell you! I can't believe you're so mean to me. If we could just get back to it. Eugene gestures towards you. That I can deliver what you need. You know, Eugene, I'm pretty tired of this whole act. She gestures dismissively at him. But in the end, it doesn't matter. She drops her hand from your shoulder into her belt. Your eyes follow it down. You see a dark, boxy shape there. A weapon? You either deliver by the deadline, or you don't. And when you don't, she smiles tightly. I'll be happy to take you through the consequences. Until then, she shoots you a final glance. Chat to whoever the hell you want. Vesna and the 2 spacers flanking her glide out of the bar. Eugene watches them go with little emotion. So, Eugene's smile returned. You're about to hire me? What was that? Vesna? He shrugs. He's just trying to rush me, that's all. I won't be working with her again. He pauses, choosing his words carefully. Of course. I can't talk about the particulars. You understand. Vesna just wants to scare you off. She likes to cause me trouble. Eugene looks away, out of the door of the bar. Let's not let her. He pauses in silence for a moment, still looking away. Trying to get a read on him, but his face is blank. Only his glittering eyes hint at some rapid internal activity. He turns back to you and meets your eye, a sudden shift in his manner obvious. If you need crew, you need to work. You need to work, you need cryo. Is that right? It doesn't stop for your answer. Well, I can offer both. Hard work, a good contract with a good payout. You take me with you on this job of mine, and we split the take. He looks down, thinking, hell, if you do, I'll consider signing on long term. He smiles. Think of that. No more recruiting. What's the job? Salvage. He leans in. I know of a wreck untouched by local crews, which recently turned up in the wash. It's just a little sunward from here, but its disabled transponder makes it invisible to anyone who doesn't know it's there. I had to squeeze the location out of a contract, but I'll share it with you for a straight split. Take me and your crew. Claim it all. Gonna be a good payout. He winks. A really good one. What's the catch? Eugene frowns. No catch. He leans back and looks around the bar. Happy to take the offer elsewhere. Felt like you're the right captain for this one. I'll be ready to go whenever you like. Eugene pauses. As a show of good faith, I'll also fly out with you on any job from the bar Spindle. But I'm not leaving the station with you yet. Not till we get my job done first. After that, we can talk flying together. No need to rush it. He shakes your hand firmly, his palm rough and pitted, and turns back to his drink. You slip out of the bar, looking to see if Vesna is nearby. You don't spot her among the passing crews, but you can't help but imagine eyes on you in the bar. You shake it off, having become familiar with the feeling of being observed. What matters is you've found yourself a crew member and a contract. Whether either will come to good, however, remains to be seen. Oh my god, so many shits. Anyway, I'm getting this upgrade because I'm tired of being in the shits. Also, we need to get our stress down, and I remembered I do that by using dice. If I were to travel to here... Nope. I wanted to see what Eugene's stats are, but oh well, I guess I can't. Okay, what does this do if I fail? Just recovery failed. Alright, this is a very safe place to use our glitch dice then. I wish I'd remember this before I did anything though, because getting this down would have been good. Oh, come the fuck on. Try and recover some more. Of course not. There we go. That's nice. Okay, our current drive, help cadet. And we have a 1, which I will use down here. Because it's the coin flip, but it's not a bad coin flip. Hey, good shit. I want to help cadet, and then we'll probably leave. You float some. I think that's going to be our plan. Hopefully our guy can find some more supplies, because we are low on shit. I mean, we still have 1 pip of stress. Maybe this will get rid of it. Damn. Nice. Lots of progress on that one. There we go. You slide the loose panel away from the wall, letting it float there, beside the airby crack. Behind it, in the dark, you see the blinking lights of the fuse box. A noise nearby draws your attention for a moment. The scrape of a sliding door, maybe? Here's just some old system cycling in the walls. Took long enough to gain access to the Stripline Express bike garage. Longer still to find a safe route to the air bike racks. But you are almost there. You've seen and heard the hired muscle searching and guarding this place, but have been lucky enough to not come face to face with them. Yet. Turn back to the darkness behind the panel. What Cadet said is right. The drive is taped to the back of the fuse box in front of you. Reach through and around, slowly, carefully. Your hand settles on something, cold and metallic in the dark, taped firmly to the box. You pull at it, but it doesn't budge. Quiet rattle echoes through the dispatch office next door. You freeze for a second. Seems Cadet was a little too enthusiastic with the tape. Feel it. You close your eyes and feel for the seams of the tape. Taking your time, you pick at it, working each piece away from the drive. You hear a clattering sound nearby as you peel off the final piece. The drive spins into your hand. Time to move. You slip the drive inside your coat. You kick away from the wall, gliding back towards the maintenance corridor you entered from. As you cross the bike garage, you hear voices in the dispatch office next door. Just as you tuck yourself into the cool darkness of the maintenance corridor, a screech indicates the opening of a door from the office next door. Voices rumble through the room, and you quickly and quietly push yourself deeper into the guts of the building. Too close. Barely daring to breathe, you carefully make your way through the maze of passages that brought you here, their dog legs and dead ends now familiar. Eventually, you spot I've never heard of a street called a dog leg. What even is that? Eventually, you spot a thin slit of light ahead, marking the loose panel you levered open to gain entrance. Take a deep breath. Almost there. As you reach the gap, you freeze. Voices rumble from beyond. Peering through, you see two figures in dark clothes, searching the chaotic bay behind the street blind. Your eyes are drawn to the dark, boxy weapon one holds at their side. Shit. You hiss silently to yourself, your eyes searching for a path through. Let's wait. You wait, silent and still, as the figures search. They split and drift across the bay. You take the chance, sliding open the panel and slipping behind the scrap and boxes at the edge of the room. You work your way around until you can't get any further. You kick off hard, making a dash for the far side of the bay, the public passage beyond. There's a hiss and a guttural chatter of a pressure valve as an airbike pulls up beside you in the passage. Cadet leans over and grabs the collar of your coat. Hop on! In a moment, you're on the back of the airbike, clutching the strap of Cadet's bag as she guns it down the passage, the air resistance almost ripping you from the thin seat. You lean against her back and let out a sigh, the drive pressing into your ribs beneath your jacket. You did it. Still alive back there? Cadet's voice brings you back from the hypnotic rhythm of the tunnel lights rushing past the airbike. She slows the bike with a rapid series of hisses, and you realize she's brought you back to the passage outside of Bliss's Bay. Try to understand the route she took. Long loop through the branching transit tunnels of the station, but give up. You can let go now. She straightens up and you unhook your fingers from her bag strap, separating yourself from her back. You push off the bike gently and float in the passage beside her. You okay? Look pretty rough back there. She smiles. Appreciate you putting it all on the line for me. Export is my priority. Fair enough, he shrugs. Want to show me the drive then? You fish the drive out of your jacket and hand it over. That's the one. He squints at it. Should have chucked it when I had the chance. You get your first good look at it. There's not much to see. Small lump of solid state memory with a few markers on the case. About a yellow hex among them. Export. It's better be worth it. She sighs. Never promise profit, sleeper. She slides her bag around her shoulder to the front, slots the drive neatly into a pocket. Answers? Maybe. I know someone in the scatter yards who can crack anything. She'll be my first port call to crack this thing open. She stretches her shoulders. I should make myself scarce from the Spindle anyway, or those dickheads catch up with me. Come with us. Appreciate the offer, but I think it's best if we go our separate ways for now. Two targets are harder to track than one. She cycles the pressure valve on the bike impatiently. He leans away from her bike, squinting out of the viewing window at your ship beyond. That yours? He doesn't wait for an answer. I'm not mistaken. That old thing is going to struggle to reach the scatter yards. Since you've added a HasNav suit? HasNav? Yeah. The between here and scatter yards is drowning in debris. Worse since export. You'll need hazard navigation to make the crossing safely. Zodiac Syndicate created the tech. Jump your tickers across the belt. Common knowledge. Cadet nods at your ship. Maybe, get up to Wellspring. You get barter or steal a suit. She adds casually. Here. Cadet unties a bag lashed to her bike frame, holds it out to you. Not enough here for a refit. Maybe you'll find some use for them. You take the bag, and something clinks inside it as you do. You open it to see a couple engine components. Was gonna use it to boost her. She taps the frame of her air bike. You deserve them. She meets your eye, then looks away. Not like I'll be doing any runs for a while anyway. Thanks. It's nothing. Like I said, you deserve them. She flexes her fingers on the bike's handles, eager to be away. Cadet's airbike stutters and purrs, trembling in the air like an arrow ready to be loosed. See you round. She winks and guns the throttle, zipping off the passage with a pulse of air that ripples through your clothes. You stare after her as she goes, bag of components still hanging from your hand. You realize, as you look down the passage, you never asked how Cadet plans to get to the scatter yards. That question, like a score of others, will have to wait until you run into her next. Though you have a feeling she'll find a way to slip away before you can ask them next time too. You head back towards your ship, bestow the components, idly wondering if you could justify buying an air bike. The Seraphin as you do so. Seraphin, you don't understand. I look so cool. I do need a repair though. Now, it could be cheaper to buy scrap in our next place, but it also just as easily could not. I'm just gonna buy it now and fix myself up. Also see if I can get my last bit of stress down. Nope. Oh well, time to do some glitching. Yay. Ow. All right. Next stop, Flotsam.